Hello again. We continue our journey towards writing a Scrapy spider. In part 1, we learned how to scrape products from this Sports Direct site, particularly the men's shirt section. Of course, this is irrelevant. You can pick any other section you want. And what we managed to do was to scrape the brand name, the product name, and the price. But of course, this is not enough for a real data scraper. Like, we would like at least also the product pictures. And here we have only small thumbnails of the products, not the real large pictures, which actually can be found when you open the product page itself. So, how do we do that? So, last time what we did, we were processing each of these products one by one, each box with links and everything. So let's start from there. Let's start our Scrapy shell. And fetch the page with the products. Okay, we have it. And now let's see how we selected here. This was our list of product data. And let's take again only the first product. Okay, now this is this product. Okay, what do we need? What we need is a link to the actual product page. Let's first quickly check what kind of links there are in this div. We go to the shell and type, we just select all the links in a product box. And they seem all the same. Let's see. Okay. Actually, we'll select only the href attribute because we don't need the full A tag for a link. How do we do that? In a similar fashion that we used for double colon text that gives us the text content of a tag, with double colon attr for attribute, we can select the content of any attribute of a tag. In this case, this is href. We can see all the links are the same, all leading to the product page. So if we just extract the first one, that's enough for us. It's good enough to go. So let's make also a product URL. And we can even save it in the item so we have a reference to the original product URL in case maybe we need it sometime in the future. So what do? We go in the item and we add an URL attribute, and then we can assign item URL product URL. Okay, cool. Now we have the URL saved also in the item, but we want Scrapy to fetch the page and pass it onto our spider for processing. We can do it in the same manner we were using to fetch more pages with products. We will use yield Scrapy request. This time the URL will be a product URL. This will queue the URL for downloading, and when it's downloaded, Scrapy will invoke again the parse method with this new page. There is a slight problem here though. Now here is one kind of structure, we have one kind of data. This is a list of products. And here on the product page, we have a single product, variation, sizes and so on, but it's a single product with images. So it's really different structure. It makes no sense to process it in the same method. So Scrapy allows us to also specify a method used for processing a URL. So once this URL is downloaded, we can say, okay, when it's downloaded, pass it to this particular method instead of the default parse method. How do we do that? First, we create this new method. Let's call it parse product. And it has the same signature as the default parse method. It takes a reference to self and a response. For now, leave it empty. And here, where we create the request object, we can specify a callback attribute. And we give it a value that is a reference to the method we just created. So now, when the URL is fetched, Scrapy will use parse product to parse the HTML, or do whatever processing we put there instead of the default parse method. This way we can have as many parse methods for different kind of pages and so on without polluting a single parse method and putting all the logic there. It's getting really convoluted in this way. So what do we need from a product page? So for a starter, let's just extract all the image URLs. So we have also images for the product besides the name and the price. The images are listed here in the thumbnails, and when you hover or just click on the thumbnail, what happens is this big image here changes, and you can even zoom, see a really big version of it. So let's inspect one thumbnail and see, maybe we find some logic how it's done. So what do we have here? An img tag with nothing special on it, and actually the img tag contains really small thumbnail. You can see 68 by 66 pixels. This is not good enough. But the img tag is wrapped in an a tag, which is handling, clicking, hovering, whatever, and putting a bigger picture. And you can see that the href of the a tag is a much bigger picture that is 720 by 720. And more interestingly, there is even larger version, judging by the name of the URL, because you can see here the href attribute contains some picture named, some number underscore L, and here in src zoom, we have the same number but underscore XXL. So I'm assuming, it's a wild guess, but let's try it. I'm assuming that this actually is the picture used for the zoom button we see in the corner there of the product image. So let's copy this URL, open it, and yeah, we have a picture that's quite good resolution. Okay, let's see what links have this src zoom attribute. We load the product page again in Scrapy shell. So this time we'll list all links that have attribute named src zoom. Okay, yes, it has to be a double colon, not a single colon. And what do we see here? We have 3 elements. Let's extract it so we can see it clear. Yes, 3 elements to XXL images. Perfect. So these are our image URLs that we need for the product. Okay. So we say image URLs equals extracted links from the src zoom attribute. Okay, this is fine. We can print it and see that we actually get this kind of URLs. And by the way, now I'll do something that's just for testing, because I don't really want to go over and fetch all the products on the product page every time I run the scraper now, because I'm focusing only on parsing a product. I want to parse a product. So after I yield a single request to parse a product page, I'll return, and this will limit my spider to crawling only one product page. This is so I can see what's happening, and when I finish my parse product method, again, I can remove the return and I'll have all the items scraped, all the products scraped. So let's run it. Scrapy run. Yes, should it scroll? We wait, and here we have it. We have the list. But now, do you see a problem that we have? What we have here is we have the item in this parse method, and we want to add to it the image URLs, but we used it here before we fetch the product page, and parse product is code where actually we get the image URLs. So how do we do this? This is something that's very commonly used when you need to pass data between several parse methods. You parse something on a single page and you need to add more data to it before pushing it into the pipeline to be saved in a different parse method, or even in the same parse method but on a different URL. So what can you do? You can do the following. The request object has an additional meta attribute where you can pass whatever you want. Whatever you put here, you get it in the response. So if I do meta item, and now I will remove using the item here, because what happens now? What happens is I don't want the item to be pushed for processing at this point where we haven't gathered all the data yet. I want to push it for processing later when I have added also the data from the product page. So what I'm doing now is I'm just passing the item onto the next request, and here I can access it in the parse product method. I can access it with response.meta item, and now I can do item image URLs. Let's call it image URLs. Oh, just for completeness. Okay, and we don't need this. And now here we'll yield the item for processing. So also I need to add image URLs to the item, or it will just fail with error. Scrapy doesn't allow arbitrary fields in item, only the ones you... Okay, so now if I run the spider again, I should have a product item that has also an image URLs attribute. Let's run the spider and see. Okay, we have an exception. Not 100% sure what's happening. Or yeah, okay, so we don't access it in the same way. Meta item, meta, how are we supposed to? Let's do a quick search on this and see an example. A request meta. Okay, obviously it doesn't work like this. We have to assign it and then yield the request. Let's see now. And now we have scraped a single product that has brand, name, image URLs, price, and the actual product URL, which is relative. Yeah, that's not so nice. Let's make it absolute. Okay. Now you can see how we can scrape data from several pages and combine it into a single item. Okay. Hope this was useful. Now I remove the return method, and when I run it again, it will fetch all the products with their image URLs. Let's run it and see what's happening. Of course, I want it saved this time. Let's call it with images. Again, JSON lines. We run. Wait for all the debug output to pass and to Scrapy to process all the pages. Of course, now it will be slower because apart from each product page, you need to drill down and make more requests for each product. So let's see, product images. And yeah, beautiful. We have products with images now. Okay, hope this was helpful. See you next time.